happy December 20th. There it is. We are getting recorded. Happy auto ship day. You guys, we have one more auto ship day left for the month, and I haven't gotten anything official yet, but clearly it won't be on the 25th because that's the holiday. So has anybody gotten an official? I'm assuming it'll be on the 23rd. Maybe, no, am I a liar? Because is that a Saturday? I'm assuming it'll be on the 22nd is my guess. So if you
Hey, Tammy, when I
Yeah.
talked to Cliff the other day, he said Jason has not made the move to change it as of yet. So there still is no plan to change it from the 25th.
Interesting.
I know, weird. But you know, it's
Okay.
just automatic. It's not like people are sitting in the warehouse waiting for them to go.
Right. Well, so I would just say that it's not on our bingo card today, but just keep that in mind that we probably have an auto ship either coming early or maybe they'll do it a day late. I don't know what their plan is, but this is a super busy time. So just if you haven't talked to your 25th auto shippers yet, I would say that would be something you want to do. Okay, so anyway, let me get back on track here. All right, you guys, I know that it is the Wednesday before Christmas. I know a lot of people have mentally checked out, not you, because you're here though. So thank you. Amen. And praise you for being here. But I want to talk to you guys about how now is the time. Like, I know that a lot of people think, oh, business slows down. Well, it can, but when business is slow, if you keep planting, when the sun comes back out on the 26th, 27th, you'll be ready versus the people who are going to be backtracking. For any of you that have never had to suffer through any of my gardening talk before, you're going to now. So people will come to my house a lot around the holidays, and they love, like, I'm a huge amaryllis fan. It's a bulb that you bloom that's beautiful this time of year. And they'll come in and they'll be like, oh my gosh, how did you get that? Or, oh my gosh, I want one of those. Well, you can get one, but it took 6 to 8 weeks to become a beautiful flower. So had I waited until Christmas to get what I wanted, I wouldn't have it, right? Like, you've got to keep planting early on. You have to start thinking. So if you're like, okay, 2024 is my year. Well, if you're not planting today, tomorrow, the next day, and the next day, and the next day, you're not going to get there. 2024 is going to look a lot like 2023. So I really just want to encourage you. And like I said, I applaud you all for being on here. Maybe you're watching the replay even. I applaud you for being here, but stick with it. I know it's the holidays. I know it's hard, but like, you guys would all be shocked if if all commercials just quit running over the next 4 days, right? You'd be like, oh my gosh, the businesses must have closed. They've given up. No, like, the commercials will keep running. It'll be Christmas Day. You could be sitting there and a commercial will be on because business is always happening. So make sure your business is always, always happening. And I'm going to share some stuff with you today that I think would be helpful moving forward. And I'll also try to stay on track with the bingo card. So anywho, one of the things when Lindsay and I were getting these bingo cards finished up for December that we talked about, especially from this point on, is what I've just always called it front loading. I don't know if I made that up or if I heard that sometime in my life, but it's where you're going to be crazy busy. You're going to be distracted, and or maybe you want to be distracted. I want to enjoy Christmas. I do not want to be thinking about, oh my gosh, I got to make a reel today on Christmas. I want to, like, be with my nephews and just be so happy, right? So I think so much about front loading when a holiday is coming up or something like a trip or something is coming up. So you'll notice on some of these, especially on one of our activities today, normally we would just reach out to maybe 4 people or 5 people. Well, today it says 8. Listen, if you want to reach out to 10 to 15, please do. Please don't stop with, like, the number on your bingo card. Like, this is your business. You do you. But you'll notice that we're kind of pushing things a little bit over these next few days. You'll see we're reaching out to more people. It could start a great new habit for you that instead of talking to 4 people, you start talking to 10 a day. Or maybe maybe you've been talking to 10, maybe you're going to talk to 20 now. But also it's just going to help make sure that you have the activity going into the holidays. So I'm going to skip the first thing on the list. We'll go back to that near the end. But the first thing we're going to do is reach out to 8 current or potential customers. You're going to send them a link to a local, it says local in all caps, because why? Because it's just a few days before Christmas. Local store, telling them why you love to shop there. And you could even throw in a little, hashtag shop local, small business, yada, yada. Let me break this down for you. You are a small business. The more energy you put into helping small business, the more energy you're putting into helping your own small business, right? What you put out, you get out. Now, it does say, there's only so much room we have on these bingo cards. So it does say local store. You guys, it could be a restaurant you could love. Maybe it's a local car wash. Maybe it's a bakery. Maybe it's the coffee shop down the street that you get your tea from. Like whatever it is, there's bound to be a store that if I told you, okay, you have 20 minutes to go get a gift, there's bound to be something that you would get in your car and you would drive. Maybe it would just be a gift card to the local restaurant that you love. Maybe it would be a box of tea bags and a cute little mug from the coffee shop down the street. I don't know what it would be. I don't know where you spend your time or your money, but today is the day to reach out to at least 8 people and let them know, hey, if you're looking for a last minute gift, I want to make sure you know about, for me, I want to make sure you know about Carly's Cookies over on Mulberry. That's not the street, on Cherry, whatever road she's on. She's got the cutest last minute gifts, or she's got the best holiday treats, like whatever the heck you want to share with somebody. And this is a really easy thing to do through Facebook or Instagram. Go to the business that you're looking for. Like for instance, I have a restaurant that's just down the street from me and my cousin owns it. So of course I give him props anytime I can. I went to that restaurant's Facebook page. I found a post where they're actually talking about when you buy a gift card, you get bonus money back. And I copied the link to that post and I've gone into, excuse me, into my messenger. And I've said, hey, I know that a lot of us are scrambling for last minute stocking stuffers. I just want to make sure you know that it's called Broadway Barrel House. I just want to make sure you know Broadway Barrel House has this great gift card offer where you get money back. Hope you're having a great holiday. Actually, I try to always end with a question. So are you done with your shopping yet? And then I put the link to that post and then I just copy that message and send it to 7 more people, right? So easy peasy. So the thing you need to think of is what is that store, that restaurant, that coffee shop, that boutique, that florist. We have a great florist in town. She also has like tons of cute little gifts. And I know this might sound weird, but some of you, if you work at a hospital gift shops are like the bomb diggity. So if you work at one or you're near one, like people often don't think to go there, but they have incredible gifts at hospital gift shops. And that is a local store. Those are run locally by the hospitals. So yeah, I'm going to be quiet and let you work on that for a couple minutes. I'll just add really quick while you guys are working on that. If for some reason you go to the business's Facebook or Instagram and they don't have a post or a link or something you can share, you could just share the link to their business. Do you know what I mean? Or to their website. I try to redirect it there on Facebook because typically I'm in Facebook Messenger. And so I try to keep it connected, or Instagram Messenger. But you do you, whatever works for you. But just know that if there's not a specific post that you could share, you could easily just share the link to that page. Okay, so moving right along, we're going to create an interaction post on Facebook by asking a question. I already asked mine today. Please don't steal it, but you could do a riff of it if you would like. I said, take it or leave it, eggnog, question mark. And before anybody thinks that's a great question and that was really creative and smart, that was on my memories from 1 year ago exactly today. I asked that question 1 year ago today. I got a ton of comments on it. I got a ton of people already commenting on it. No one remembers that I asked that question last year because quite frankly, until it popped up in my memories, I don't remember asking that question either. So don't overthink it. If you have something that you did last year that's on your memories, like roll with it. But I like to, especially this time of year, make it somewhat seasonal. Now also, this sort of helped or is kind of playing into my hands because we just had eggnog shakes drop yesterday. So I'm getting a lot of leave-its. So I'm not going to talk to those people about the eggnog shake. But I'm getting a lot of people that say take it also. So clearly this is just a fun little something for people to give their opinion. But it's also in the back of my mind, Anyway, so you could even like if you want to stick with that, we have gingerbread, we have candy cane, we obviously have the eggnog. You could say, how do you prepare your eggnog? Because I will say people saying take it are telling me how they make it versus they don't just drink it. They add a lot of Jack Daniels to it. Apparently my friends drink a lot. So, you can ask something like that, or just any old question. Are you done Christmas shopping? Are you ready to take your tree down yet? Have you put your tree up yet? You know, I will tell you, be prepared when it comes to these open-ended questions like this. Be prepared that you might not get it's social media. You might get some shitty responses back. I actually made a post on Sunday thinking I was being funny, and it started World War II. And I let it ride for 48 hours. And then I just went ahead and deleted it yesterday because total strangers were arguing with total strangers. And I'll just tell you, all I said was I made a comment about wanting some chicken on a Sunday. So you can figure that one out. But anyway, just know that it is your post. So if people are putting answers or arguing or whatever, remember you can delete that. You can also use that as an opportunity to block people. As I was told multiple times on Sunday that I was being blocked because I chose to eat chicken. Anyway, it's so funny. But just be aware that when you do open-ended things like this on a public profile, you might get some weird answers back. And if they're inappropriate or you feel uncomfortable with it or it's rude or it's starting an argument, just delete it. You don't have to delete your whole post like I eventually did, but just delete the comment and you can nip that stuff in the bud. So, okay. Did anybody think of a question to ask? Maybe whatever question you're asking, will you throw it in the chat? Because that might, but please, when you see it in the chat, don't copy it exactly, especially if it's someone you're connected to on Facebook, but maybe let it make your juices creative and twist that question around or come up with something similar. I know like on this eggnog question I've asked before, like apple cider, take it or leave it. You could be like, take it or leave it, candy canes, take it or leave it, tree top or whatever. I stole your eggnog question. Great debate in our house. Eggnog, yes or no? Yeah, okay. And so it's the same question yet different the way he worded it. So that's important. You guys think about that. Make it sound like it came from you, right? Okay, so yeah. As any of you are thinking of questions, throw them in there just to kind of help people because I know some days it's hard to think of your own question. All right, next up on the list, we are going to create and share a reel using archived Instagram stories or a new video, but you're going to stay in your niche. So let me break this down because I think this is a hard one for some people. If you don't know what your niche is, I'm going to tell you right now to open up your camera roll, scroll through it, and what do you see? You guys all know if you open up my camera roll, you're going to see a ton of flowers and plants and trees and whatever, because that's just my jam. That's what I take pictures of. That's what I video. That's what I do. What's on your camera roll? Like I see people, and I overthought my niche for a long, long time because I thought I needed to come up with something amazing, but just who you are is amazing enough, believe it or not. If you love to cook, there are some people who love to clean, which if you are one of those, hit me up, come on over. But like people who have cleaning hacks or cleaning techniques that they use. So so in your mind, it might be something so simple. Like I know people that love to travel and they don't think twice about packing for 2 weeks overseas in a backpack because that's their jam. They know how to do it, right? So there's something that you do every single day, or at least every single few days, that comes very natural to you. And you're not sharing it with the world because you don't think it's unique or different. But I promise you, there's someone who doesn't know what you know, and they want to know what you know. So I have literally taught people how to plant an amaryllis bulb. Do you know how hard it is? You put a little dirt in, you put the bulb on top, and you're done. You don't even have to bury the daggone thing. So like it's so simple, but some people don't know how to do it. So share what's on your camera roll already. Or in this case, maybe you have an idea and you're going to be making a new video. You can totally do that. When it says stay in your niche, you can also think about like my niche is gardening for sure, but I can talk about my business and gardening at the same time because I only get to garden as much as I do because of this business. So think outside of the voiceover TikTok kind of thing, the dancing TikTok. Like, think about what's on your reel. Maybe you took your kids Christmas shopping the other day at the mall, and maybe you love to go shopping. Maybe shopping is your jam. You could literally just have a quick 5 to 10 second video of you walking through the mall. So you're not even on the video, right? Like, you don't even have to be on the video. And then you could do a voiceover of that, of like talking about how you had a Tuesday afternoon to go shop with your family because you can work from anywhere, or however you want to word that. And then throw in a little background Christmas music, and ta-da, you got yourself a TikTok and a reel, and you can share it. And it hits your niche, and it talks about your business. So have fun. Have fun with your reel making. I think that's one of the things. Now, if you're seeing this and you're like, what does she mean by using an archived Instagram story? You would just go into your Instagram. I want to make sure I tell you the right buttons. You're going to go down to the bottom right where you see your cute little face. Click on your little face. Now go to the upper right where you see the 3 lines or the menu or whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4. On my phone, it's 5 things down. It says archive. Okay, so this is every story that I have shared. It's automatically been archived into my Instagram. And so let's say you want to make, like, I take a walk every morning and I share my morning walk every day on my Instagram. Maybe I want to make a reel about my morning walk. I could literally go through the last few days. Here's my video from today's walk. Here's my videos from yesterday's walk. Here's my video from the day before. You can save that video to your phone, go into CapCut, throw them all in, do the auto cut feature that Ryan taught us last week, and let CapCut make a video for you. And you could talk about why you like your morning walk. So, or like, maybe you could go, the fun thing about story archives too, to me, you could go to at the top there's a circle, a calendar, and then a map. You could go to the date, and you could go to last Christmas. You could go to this day last Christmas, or this week last Christmas, or whatever. Or maybe you like want to do, maybe you're going to make a reel about planning ahead for your trips of 2024 that you're planning on taking. Well, remember when you traveled this past year, and go to those days and take snippets of those archive stories and throw all of your past trips into a reel. Like, that's all sitting right there in your archived area. The trip one also can be kind of easy if you click the map, because then you could like pick, like if you knew you went to Cabo, you could find Cabo on the map. If you knew you went to San Diego, you could find that on the map. So anyway, that's archive stories is that's just like a little trick up your sleeve for when you need to make some sort of content, but you're not sure what to make it about, or you don't have time to refilm something. You already have tons of that. I love the questions coming in. Share your favorite holiday tradition. Love anything leopard, dancing queen, and working out. Okay, this is her niche, I think, is what she's answering me with, Elaine. Polly says, do you prefer lines or double-sided print on your wrapping paper? Another good question. Wrapping is like, have you guys ever been on like TikTok or Instagram and watched the people wrap presents? It's mesmerizing. Like, they do some of the like origami stuff to finish it off at the top, and I can't figure out how they do it, and that's okay, because I won't do it. I'll put a little sticky bow on like I do. But anyway, again, there is something
You should have never said that, Tammy, because I scroll enough looking at baby pictures.
Oh,
Now,
well, okay, don't start. Yeah, don't start something new. Okay, so we talked enough about creating a reel from archive stories into new videos, and we also talked about our niche. Next up is going live on Facebook and or Instagram in less than 3 minutes. Notice this is a short live on purpose. There's a time for a long live, and there's a time for a short live, and this is a short live. We're going to talk about how it is free to promote Thrive. Now, some of you talk about the business enough, and you've established yourself or your persona on social media enough as a business expert that you could just hop right on and you could just talk about how this business works. On the flip side of that, some of you may not talk about this a lot, and this may seem really, really weird and make you want to vomit a little bit in the back of your throat thinking about talking live. So I want to encourage you to find something that you're already going to be doing today, or something that you love. Do that while you're live talking about how you promote and how you do it for free. So for example, if I wanted to, maybe I was going to make Christmas cookies today. I could literally be in the kitchen. I could be going live. I could be sharing my Christmas cookies. I could be sharing my recipe. or I could be icing the cookie, whatever, you only got 3 minutes. But while I'm doing it, I could talk about how I love promoting this business because it allows me this activity during the day. And I don't know if I've ever told you guys this or not, but it doesn't cost anything to promote. Like we don't pay website fees, we don't pay stock fees, right? Like then you could meld those two together. And I know for a lot of people, that's going to feel much more natural. And for your viewers, it's going to feel more natural. But unless, like I said, you've established yourself as a business, there are some people who I would not expect to skip a beat. I would just expect them to get on and talk about this business and talk how they don't pay, fees. And then there are other people who I know, like I said, you're going to want to talk about something else in addition to it. And I think that's okay. Even if you are the business expert, it's okay to still share something you love. Like I think I potted up some plants one afternoon live and I talked about the business while I was potting up plants. So it's okay to combine them. I think it helps with your nerves. I think it makes more natural. Anyway, so we can't do that together right now because we're busy. But I will also tell you, if you go live on Instagram, even if you go for 3 minutes, if you go live on Instagram, when you finish your Instagram live, it's going to automatically want to share it as a reel when you're done. And I highly encourage you to do that because just because you went live at say 10:30 on a Wednesday, I don't know how many people are going to catch that with you, but go ahead and let it make it into a reel and then it goes onto your page. Then you have it forever kind of a thing. Also, once it's there, you could duplicate it and share it in other realms. But I will tell you, I think it's important to go live where you have the most eyeballs. So if I go live on Instagram, that's a waste of my time because I don't have a big following on Instagram. But if I go live on Facebook, that's a good use of my time because I have a lot more people there. And I want to go live on TikTok, but I still haven't enough damn followers yet. So I'm working on it. Anyway, so is that helpful to think about talking about something else or doing something else while you're talking about this business? I'm with you on the TT. Yeah. And I didn't even know it. At the end of November, I had the whole thing planned. I was going to go live every day on TikTok for the 12 days of Christmas. And like literally the night or 2 nights before, I found out you had to have 1,000 followers to do so. Oh, well, live and learn. Okay. So moving along, we are going to comment on one post in your customer Facebook group. And we're also going to comment on at least one post in a Facebook group of your choice. Lindsay says, I know more people will watch if you make it not so salesy. Yeah. I mean, you guys, you could literally be whipping up your lunch. Sorry to skip back to that bingo, but you could be whipping up your lunch. You could be, I don't know, in the school pickup line, whatever, like just sharing who you are, what you're doing and what you're into, but then also talking about it. I don't know, it just comes across more natural. Okay. So, if you guys haven't, if you are an admin in your customer group, your Facebook customer group, and you have not yet made some sort of post acknowledging that the holiday bundle is extended, I would encourage you to do so. Check first, make sure there's not 18 of you that are doing this. And then after that, if you see that is on there, then now is the time to go through some Facebook posts that are in that group, in your customer group over the last week, and just bump them back up, make a comment on it, ask a question about it, like something like, again, I preach this every time we're together, but keep your customer Facebook group a fun, active place that's not highly sales, but very much value oriented. So keep the recipes flowing in there, keep the workout ideas flowing in there, keep the positive mindset flowing in there. Because the more that's happening, when something like the holiday bundle drops in there, it's okay. Like no one's like, they're like, oh, okay, that's happening also, but I also made this recipe the day before kind of thing. So anyway, I'm going to give you time to make a comment in your customer group, as well as a comment on one of your Facebook groups. I'm sorry, really quick. I know I always say I'm going to be quiet and then I'm not. On your Facebook group where you're going into making a comment, I encourage you to make it a question. Find something that you can ask a question about so you can get a conversation started. Okay, you guys can keep making comments in your groups. Sometimes I feel like I move too fast, but then I feel like this panic that we're not going to get it all done. So if you're not done with all those yet, keep doing it while I'm talking, but I'm going to move on to the next square of the bingo card. So this is one of my favorite things to do. I try to do it 2 to 3 times a day. It literally takes 5 minutes. So that could be a whopping 15 minutes of your life for your business. But I just set a timer for 5 minutes and I go into stories on Facebook and Instagram because I love that when you comment on a story, it goes right into Messenger. Um, and I just ask questions. To me, if someone took the time to put something in their stories, like they want to share it, it's current, it's happening, it's whatever. And I just ask questions. And this time of year is just it's it's like a gift because people are sharing so much more than normal. They might be sharing pictures or videos of their kids' school. I'm thinking, what do they call that? Like not a play, but like the program, like there was a couple last night where the kids were like, not willing to sing and they were embarrassed and they were on stage. So just anything can be shared, but I put my curiosity cap on and I think, okay, what kind of question can I ask? What grade are they in now? How did they feel about, what they say when the program was over? Or maybe somebody is showing that they're wrapping presents. Oh my gosh, are you already done shopping? Like whatever it is. So I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes and we're just going to go in and we're going to ask as many questions as possible in those 5 minutes. Non-Thrive related questions, by the way. Okay, so that's been 5 minutes of question asking. I got 12 questions asked. That's 12 conversations I'm hoping to get started today. Now, I will tell you the trick with that too is don't reply back right away. Like a couple people already started answering my questions. I'm gonna let that sit till we get this done. Okay, let me mark that off. Oh, look at this. Another creator reel. You're welcome. Okay, this reel is going to be focused on Wi-Fi wealth and or how you've created your business using just your phone and your computer. So this one might require a little bit of thinking on your part. It could be something as simple as taking, if you come on these Wake Up and Wins enough, a lot, you've probably got videos and pictures of like on your stories. So you could go into your archived Instagram stories where you've shared snippets of this, right? Well, like I just usually hold my phone and like scan over the screen and then I say something about building my business with like-minded people, blah, blah, something like that. So you could put those all together and talk about how just with 1 hour a day on Zoom, you get to connect with people all over the country and you build your business together, right? That would be a simple way of talking about Wi-Fi wealth. It could be where you literally just sit down, put the phone in front of your face and talk about this business, talk about what you love about this business, talk about why it's important to you that you can do it from the car line, from waiting in the doctor's office, or like in my case, I like to do it early in the morning and late at night and then have the rest of the day for myself. Like whatever it is that you love about this business, just be brave, put your voice in your face on a video and share it as a reel. I don't know, there's this could go a lot of different directions. Again, if this is something that makes you super nervous to talk about, combine it with something you're already doing. Maybe you have a video of yourself. I'm just thinking of myself because that's the only person I can relate to. I'm thinking like I have a video of myself out in my greenhouse, puttering and cleaning some stuff up or whatever. I could literally do a voiceover about how it's so great that I have time for my hobbies because as long as my phone is near, I'm able to work my business from anywhere. Like whatever, you take it whatever direction you want to go. And again, this isn't really one we can do right now together. But I just want to get your wheels turning. And I know some of you are like, listen, that is 2 reels and 1 live on one day. I know, I told you we were front loading. I warned you in the very beginning that we were front loading today. We were doing a lot of activity. But think about that. And if you guys have any ideas, this is not my Zoom, this is our Zoom. If you have ideas of how you like to talk about the business in reels, if you like to do voiceovers, if you prefer to do the voice and face on video, like let us know, like tell us how you do this. Because I know that right now there's a lot of people who just wanted to bury their head when it said that you're going to make a reel about the business. Just like how when I said we were going to go live about the business today, that it was hard. But remember, it is Wednesday. So it's Wi-Fi Wealth Wednesday. Like you can, or just even Wi-Fi Wednesday. And I will share with you on my personal team Zoom, we were talking about this the other day. Some of the struggle that I have had over the last few years is that I think when I present Wi-Fi wealth and I talk about how easy it is, because in the grand scheme of things, it is easy. This is not brain surgery. I'm not saving anyone's life. I don't want to keep saying that it's easy. I want to talk about the convenience. I want to talk about the flexibility of it, but I'm going to do my best to take easy out of the vocabulary because I don't want people who are coming in thinking that it's easy. Like I want people who want to work and build a business, but they want to do it on this particular business platform. So anyway, that was a side note, but so yeah, so you have 2 reels and 1 live today. And I know that's a lot, but by golly, the holidays are coming. Okay, next up on the list, we're going to send birthday messages. I've actually been lately preferring to send a happy belated birthday message because I find I get a lot more feedback interaction with people because the day of their birthday, it can get chaotic. But you do you can do it the day before, the day of, the day after. I highly encourage you to try to do it even if you leave a post on their wall. I encourage you to send them a message. And again, I just encourage you to end it with a question like, how are you going to celebrate? Or how did you celebrate? That could or how do you plan to celebrate depending on what day you send it on. So I'm going to be quiet and let you guys do that. I know some of you will have 2 birthdays and some of you have 20. So I'll just give you some time here to work on this. if you are already done with your birthdays, like if you had one or two, I scroll down on your birthdays where it says upcoming, what, no, sorry, it says later in December. So other upcoming birthdays, and pick a couple of people to go onto their page and, we call it clam, comment, like, add message kind of situation. So like this gal, Christina, has a birthday coming up on the 22nd. I'm going to click on her profile. I'm going to go through, and comment on a couple of her posts, maybe ask her a question. I might even send her a message depending on what I come across here. And the beauty of this is that you just kind of start building up that relationship before you send the birthday message. Because birthdays are funny on Facebook. Like I'll get a birthday message from someone I haven't talked to in 10 years. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know they were on Facebook. So this kind of warms the person up to the fact that, hey, in a couple of days, I'm going to be telling you happy birthday. And it's just good for your algorithm. Okay, you guys keep working on those if you want, but for the sake of time, I'm going to keep moving forward. Next on our bingo list says hero product in your stories. Tell the viewer why you take it every day. My default to that is my capsules. There's not a day I go by without my capsules. Some days I do forget my DFT. Some days I do forget my shake, but I do not forget my capsules. And some of you may be like, oh my gosh, she's crazy. I couldn't go a day without my mix. Whatever it is that is your default, gotta have, can't live without it, Thrive product. That's your hero. That's what we call that, your hero. And so if it's something that you feel like you can't live without, why would you not share that with someone, right? So I just do a quick little picture or a video. Sometimes I'm in it, sometimes I'm not. And I just say why I'm taking it today. Did the dogs keep me up all night? Or is it really, really flipping freezing out this morning and I don't want to have to go outside, but I'm going to take my Thrive so I can get my butt moving. Like whatever it is that you're taking your Thrive for, share it with people. Let them know. Like it, you know, maybe you just need it because you want to stay in your warm, cozy bed. Maybe you just need it because you've got a busy week, or maybe your kids are driving you nuts, whatever. But always put that in there. Most of you probably already did that today, but if you haven't, now's your time. Next one on the list, I always love because it's easy peasy if you're on the Wake Up and Win. It is pick one training, watch, or jot down your biggest takeaway. And so check, we're on here together. We've all worked here together today. Hopefully you've learned something or you've thought about something today you haven't thought of before. Next on the list is for your story. Now, this is one you can't do right now because it's sharing a behind the scenes of your evening. This is a flip of how we typically share our Thrive. And maybe this is just me, myself too, but I'm pretty guilty about being really focused on sharing my day in my stories. And then usually from the evening on, I kind of like, I guess I'm home, I cuddle, I'm getting in my little world. But what is something that you're going to do this evening that you could share? Maybe you're curled up on the couch with a book or Netflix or whatever. Maybe you're at a sporting event with your kids. Maybe you're wrapping presents. Maybe you're wherever it is you're going tonight, whatever it is you're doing, you're just going to share a little behind the scenes or a point of view. So all that means is you're just going to either take a picture or a video with just sharing where you're at. And then you could obviously type on top of it. You could, if you're talking maybe in the video, you could run your captions over it. But it's just a peek. Stories are the ultimate nosy Nelly highlight. I mean, I love stories. I love seeing where people are, what they're doing, who they're with, what's happening in their world. If I get on someone's story and it's graphic after, like, like they'll share a meme and then maybe they'll share, like, that bores me. I want to know, what are you doing? Where are you at? What's happening? Are you at a restaurant? What are you eating? Like, is the sun shining? And I just think that's human nature. We're nosy. Like, that's what we're on social media for. So play into that. The people who are following your stories really closely are some of your biggest fans. They truly do, or stalkers. I don't know. Hopefully that never pans out, but they do really want to know, like, what is she doing today? What is the beauty too also of sharing where you truly are and what you're doing is people do start to feel like they get to know you. You guys all know people on social media who probably post their life one way, but in the background, that's not really how they're living. So I think it's just a more authentic look into someone's life. But anyway, tonight is going to be the one you're going to share later. So just kind of put that on the back burner, start thinking about what it is you're going to be doing tonight and put that reminder in your head. Okay. Last thing on the list, and I for whatever reason, I feel like this always falls on my Wednesday when we do this, but we are going to spend the next 10 minutes using Google or Pinterest, and we are going to be thinking about our 1 year, 5 year, 10-year, and 20-year goals for a vision board. This is something I like to do every single month. My vision board items haven't really changed over the years, but I've found newer pictures to put on my screensaver or newer pictures to print and put on my board. I also just think it's really good to revisit your goals all the time. I used to be guilty of making a vision board at the beginning of the year and then going about life, and then making a vision board in the beginning of the year and then going about life. And I think it's really important to revisit. There could be some things you put on your vision board in January that are done or you've changed your mind about. So this is a much more current. So think about something that you want in like 1 year from now. What do you want? Is it a new car? Is it a credit card paid off? Is it a trip to Disney? Is it whatever? I don't know. I'm making stuff up. What is something that you want to happen in your life in 1 year? What is something you want to see in your life in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Think about it. You're going to, I tend to go to Google, and I know some people like Pinterest, whatever search engine you like, go there, type it in. So maybe it is, I will say be specific. So like how I said trip to Disney, how about we put in there trip to Disney for Halloween decorations, or like, isn't that a big thing? They do how like really do up Halloween. That way, when the image pops up for you to take, to borrow, to steal, it's going to be specific to that time of year and to that thing, right? And if you are saying, I want to pay off my credit card, maybe you could type in pay off Chase Visa or pay off BP Visa. I'm just trying to think of like cards I've had. That way, the picture that actually pops up is very specific, because obviously the more specific, the better. Like if you say, I want a beach house in the next 20 years, well, that's great. There's beaches all over. Are you talking about a beach up in Alaska where it's really, really cold all the time? Or are you talking about a beach down in Florida somewhere? So be specific in your search. With that, I'm going to be quiet now and I'm going to start searching myself. did forget to mention, once I download these pictures, I put them in an album on my phone. And I keep them in there. That way I can pop up, I can use them if I want them for my vision board, or sometimes if I just need to like center myself, I can look at my, my little reminders. You can also then put them into Canva if you want, make like a collage and put them on the cover for your phone or your desktop. Again, it's just keeping your goals in front of your face. Okay, while you guys are finishing that, we have a few more minutes. I just want to share with you some thoughts that I kind of got from a podcast I was listening to this morning that I thought was appropriate for the Wednesday before the holiday. Basically, it talked about, and yes, this was a gardening podcast, but I'm turning it into business, so hang with me. It was talking about how, so, a lot of the beautiful flowers and plants and shrubs and things that we start thinking about in spring, like when you go to the store to buy your flowers to plant in the spring, those actually got started in the winter. And so I want you to think about like how now, like I think a lot of people are in their mind like, well, I can't start my flowers now because it's cold outside. Well, you're right. You probably can't if you're going to try to start them outside. But if you create the environment that that flower needs, so in other words, a warm room, a soil, a grow light, like that, if you create that room, like farmers everywhere, gardeners everywhere are creating that space that is perfect for that flower to grow. And trust me, I do it, and it costs a lot of money and it takes a lot of time, and you gotta do all this stuff, but I do it because I love it. So if you start thinking about the business that you want to grow, what do you need to do now to make that environment so that business can grow? So for example, I have to add light and I have to add heat. I have to remove the cold. I have to remove the wind. What is it in your environment that you need to remove? Or what is it that you need to add to your business now in the winter so that come spring, you have the growth that you want, that you're hoping for, that you're working for. So think about your environment, because again, if you all those flowers that are so pretty to plant in the spring, you've got to start working on them now. And then the other thing to think about whenever I'm starting seeds, I don't put one seed in each hole. You could. I put 3 to 5 seeds in each hole, and then you see what happens. You see what comes up. Sometimes all 5 come up and they're all great and you can spread them out and save all 5. Sometimes only 1 comes up. So thank God I put the extra in there, right? So when you start thinking about the customer or the promoter, and you start, and I'm guilty of this, like I really start getting focused on that one person who I just know needs this product, or who I just know could be making more money. Remember, I put 3 to 5 in each hole so I could get 1 successful plant. So overplant. When you heard me say I set my timer 3 times a day to send out as many questions as I can in 5 minutes, some of you might think, well, that's overkill. Well, it's not. I'm overplanting. I'm going to start as many conversations as I possibly can every single day, because one of those conversations might grow into something. But if I don't overplant, if I only spend 5 minutes a day doing it, I'm taking my success rate and I'm knocking it down, right? So think about your business the same way you would about a garden. The winter, when it's cold and nasty and gross, that's a great time to be out in your garden. It's a great time to be fertilizing your garden. It's a great time to be planting your garden. It's a great time to be maybe bringing the garden in, and like I said, creating that environment. So what is it that your business needs that you could be adding to your business setting up that environment so so you can succeed. And what are the things that you're doing that maybe you're only doing it once a day or once a week or once a month, when in reality, you should be over planting for true abundance. Elaine says, I love this. What you need to change to make the environment better for spring. Yes, taking a lot of thought. Yeah, like really think about that. Especially, and this will be my last thing and then I'll get off here. Some of you are going to be going to the holidays, and some of you have, some of us, I would say some of us, not just some of you, some of us have family and friends we're going to see that poo-poo our business or make fun of our business, right? So be ready for that. If I knew I was going to be taking a plant from the comfort of my home to someone else's home, but in between here and there, it was going to be 20 degrees and blustery outside, I would cover it up. I would protect it. I would guard it, right? So get yourself ready, because you're going to have some winds blowing, right? You're going to have some cold temperatures coming at you. So be prepared. When somebody says, how's work? Don't answer them about your day job. Tell them about your business. Business is great. Thank you for asking. Sales have been tremendous. We just brought out 2 new shake flavors. We've got a whole new product line coming out in January. If your default at the holidays, when somebody says, how is work? If your default is to answer them about your day job, I want you to think about that really hard. Start answering them about your business. Tell them about your business the same way you would about your day job. Be excited about it. Be proud about it, because this is your business to share. All right. So with that, I'm off. Thanks. You guys have a Merry Christmas. I won't see you till afterwards. Bye.